Most human beings aren't born savvy travelers. It's something that solely comes with on-the-road experience. In the beginning, you make a lot of journey mistakes. Travel savviness is a method born of neglected buses, silly behavior, cultural unawareness, and endless tiny errors. Then, one day, you commence to seamlessly pass through airports and combine yourself into new cultures like a fish to water. I favor to assist velocity up the system and assist you keep away from my errors, and I frequently make a lot of them, so I put collectively this large listing of my first-class tour pointers that cowl the whole thing beneath the solar to assist you attain your full journey ninja potential. I discovered these guidelines over the remaining 12 years. These recommendations for journeying will have you saving money, dozing better, getting off the overwhelmed direction more, assembly locals, and simply being a higher traveler. Without similarly ado, right, here are the great 61 suggestions in the world. 1. Always pack a towel. It's the key to profitable galactic hitchhiking and simple frequent sense. You in no way understand when you will want it, whether or not it's at the beach, on a picnic, or simply to dry off. While many hostels provide towels, you by no means be aware of, and carrying a small towel won't add that plenty weight to your bag. 2. Buy a small backpack, suitcase. By buying a small backpack, I like something round 35/40ths of a liter, you will be compelled to pack mild and keep away from carrying too an awful lot stuff. Humans have a horrible tendency to choose to fill house, so if you pack mild however have loads of greater room in your bag, you'll give up going, well, I wager I can take more, and then feel sorry about it. 3. Pack light. It's okay to put on the identical t-shirt a few days in a row. Take half of the garments you assume you will need, you won't want as a good deal as you think. Write down a listing of essentials, reduce it in half, and then solely pack that. Plus, seeing that you offered a small backpack like I said, you won't have a whole lot room for more stuff anyways. 4. But take more socks. You'll lose a bunch to laundry gremlins, put on and tear, and tricking so packing greater will come in handy. I solely take a few greater than I need. Nothing beats a clean pair of socks. 5. Take a more financial institution card and savings card with you. Disasters happen. It's continually precise to have a backup in case you get robbed or lose a card. You don't desire to be caught someplace new bar and get entry to your funds. I as soon as had a card duplicated and a freeze put on it. I couldn't use it for the relaxation of my trip. I used to be very blissful I had a greater and now not like my friend, who didn't and was once pressured to borrow cash from me all the time. 6. Make certain to use no-fee financial institution cards. Don't supply banks your genuinely earned money. Keep that for yourself and spend it on your travels. Get a deposit card and debit card that doesn't cost an overseas transaction rate or an ATM fee. Over the direction of a lengthy trip, the few greenbacks they take each time will in reality add up. 7. Travel through yourself at least once. You'll research a lot about yourself and how to grow to be independent. It's a cliché, however it's true. Traveling solo taught me how to fend for myself, speak to people, and manage unfamiliar conditions with ease. It's made me cozy with myself, helped me examine about what I'm successful of, and allowed me to be first-rate egocentric and do something I want. It can take some getting used to if you've by no means achieved it earlier than, however, do it at least once. Make yourself uncomfortable and shock yourself. You'll examine treasured lifestyles capabilities when you push yourself. 8. Don't be afraid to use a map. Looking like a traveler isn't as terrible as getting virtually misplaced and ending up in the incorrect neighborhood. Don't be afraid to use a map or ask for instructions and seem to be like a tourist. After all, you are one. I usually use a map when I travel. It helps you get to the place you want to go. 9. But don't be afraid to get purposefully lost. Wandering aimlessly through a new town is an appropriate way to get to comprehend it, get off the crushed path, and away from the tourists. You may be amazed through the hidden gemstones you find. I like to wander around and strive to discover my way barring the use of Google Maps. 10. Always go to the neighborhood tourism office. They recognize about the entirety going on in town. They can factor you to free activities, exclusive activities going on throughout your stay, and the whole lot in between. They even provide reductions on points of interest and transportation. It is their job to assist you journey the vacation spot better. It's awesome how many vacationers admit this when they are traveling someplace, but as a savvy traveler, you understand to use this resource. This is in all likelihood one of the most underused tour pointers in the world. Use the tourism board. Save money. 11. Don't purchase a cash belt, they're stupid. Thieves, be aware of their exist, and being considered with one essentially shouts, "Look at me, I'm a vacationer with money. Rip me off." The greater you can combination in and act like a local, the simpler it will be to get offers and keep away from touts. If you're concerned about pickpockets, preserve a higher eye on your stuff. 12. When you go out, take solely what you need. Limit the quantity of money and financial institution playing cards you lift with you, so if something does happen, you can without difficulty recover. Never take greater than one credit scorecard or ATM card with you. My rule for money is to restrict what I elevate to $50 USD. 13. Always raise a lock. They come in handy, particularly when you remain in dorms and want to lock your stuff up. Carry a small mixture lock with you when you travel. Don't use one with keys because, if you lose the keys, you're screwed. 14. Make more copies of your passports and vital documents. Don't forget about to email a reproduction to yourself too. You by no means be aware of when you would possibly want to have some kind of documentation with you and would possibly now not choose to elevate your original. Additionally, if your passport receives stolen, having a replica will come inaccessible for your police report. 15. Ask hostel team of workers for data, even when you aren't staying there. Hostel personnel deal with price range vacationers all day, each and every day. They comprehend precisely the place to go for low-cost ingredients and attractions. They additionally have a tendency to be local, so they recognize the town very well. Ask them for all varieties of information. Even if you aren't staying in one, simply pop in and ask for help. They'll generally provide it. 16. Learn primary phrases in the native language of your destination. The locals will respect it and it will make your interactions easier. You don't want to grasp the language, however, mastering a few matters like hello, goodbye, thank you, where's the bathroom, will go a lengthy way to endearing yourself with the locals. They'll like that you tried. 17. Read a records book. You can't apprehend a place's existing if you don't recognize something about its past. Read up on the locations you are visiting. It will provide you a deeper perception of this area you've desired to see for so long. Here are some of my favorite journey reads from remaining year. For extra ebook recommendations, study these articles. 18. Don't be ashamed to stroll into a Starbucks or McDonald's. Sometimes familiarity is comforting and each locations have free Wi-Fi and public restrooms you can use. Just don't consume the meals at McDonald's. That shit is gross and unhealthy for you. You can get it lower back home. 19. Don't fly direct. When reserving flights, now and again it is more cost-effective to fly into airports, shut your last destination, and then take an instructor bus to the place you want to go. Be positive to store around for your flight and be aware of that direct isn't constantly the most inexpensive route. My preferred flight search engines are Momondo. This is my all-time favorite search engine. They constantly appear to locate airways that provide the fantastic offers, and their calendar view lets you see which days are most inexpensive to fly. I like them due to the fact they search the small reserving websites no one else does. Google Flights, one of the high-quality flight search engines out there. Google Flights lets you enter your departure airport and see flights all over the world in a map so you can see the place the most inexpensive vacation spot in. Skyscanner, this amazing internet site searches a lot of one-of-a-kind airlines, together with many of the price range carriers that large websites miss. 20. Always get in the back of enterprise vacationers when in safety lines. They cross speedy, seeing that they are generally in a rush and journey light. They comprehend the drill. Line up at the back of them as plenty as possible. Your velocity via the line. 21. Never get at the back of families. They take forever. It's now not their fault. They simply have a lot of stuff due to the fact of the kids. Try to keep away from getting in strains with a lot of kids. It's going to take a while. 22. When you test into the hotel, don't be afraid to ask for an upgrade. They have a lot of flexibility when it comes to assigning improvements at check-in. It by no means hurts to ask. Often instances they can accommodate you if the resort isn't full. Just be extraordinary nice. 23. Libraries, Starbucks, and most cafes have free Wi-Fi. If you're staying someplace that expenses you to connect, test out one of these places. You can join for free. 24. Lunchtime is the pleasant time to go to historic sites. Be a contrarian. You'll have fewer crowds getting in your way as massive tour buses, groups, and most vacationers head to lunch. It's continually first class to go to an enchantment tremendous early, late, or when human beings eat. You'll have even the most famous locations to yourself. 25. Never consume in a touristy vicinity or close to a visitor attraction. As a established rule, I stroll 5 blocks in both course earlier than I discover a vicinity to eat. The nearer you are to traveler sites, the extra you're going to pay, and the worse the meals and service. Use websites like Yelp, Google Maps, Foursquare, or OpenRice to discover some delicious and famous eating places round you. Additionally, by no means consume somewhere the menu is in like 6 languages. That capability the restaurant is simply for tourists. 26. Locals don't consume out each and every nighttime, and neither have to you. Go grocery shopping. You can examine a lot about locals' diets through seeing the kind of meals they buy. Plus, it will store you a lot of money. You won't be remorseful about it. Cook your food, retailer money, shock yourself. 27. Eat at highly priced eating places for the duration of lunch. Most high-priced eating places provide lunch specials presenting the identical meals they would serve for dinner, however half of the price. That's the pleasant time to consume out when you travel. 28. Pack a flashlight. It will let you see at night, you keep away from stepping on stuff, and assist you in form ghost stories. Who's afraid of the dark? 29. Carry a primary first aid kit. Accidents occur, so be prepared. I take band-aids, antibacterial cream, and ointments for minor cuts and scrapes. You by no means understand when you're going to want it, and you can't constantly get it when you travel. 30. Book flights 2 to 3 months in develop to get the first-class price. Don't power yourself to a loopy making an attempt to get the absolute most inexpensive fare. Spending 5 hours to attempt to store $10 will motive you a lot of stress. Here are some articles on how to retail a cash on flights. 31. Stay in hostels. They are cheap, prepare events, you'll meet a lot of people, and they are simply lots of fun. Plus, hostel bars promote less costly beer. Here are some posts on how to pick out a hostel, and some of my preferred ones. 32. Use Meetup, the sharing economy, and hospitality websites to meet locals. These websites will assist you get an insider's viewpoint on your vacation spot through connecting you with locals in the locations you visit. The sharing economic system has modified the way human beings journey, permitting you to meet locals, get off the traveler travel, and keep mega money. It's a triple win, and assets that I use all the time when I travel. Here's an article on how to use the sharing economic system, and what websites to use when you travel. Here are some of my favorite sharing economic system and hospitality websites. Couchsurfing. This internet site lets in you to remain on people's couches or spare rooms for free. It's an awesome way to keep cash whilst assembly locals who can inform you lots extra about a metropolis than you will locate out in a hostel, hotel. Airbnb, another exact lodging alternative. This website online connects with house owners who lease out their homes, apartments to you. Eat with. There is a rate, everyone units their personal price, however this is a fantastic way to do something different, choose a local's brain, and make a new friend. BlaBlaCar. BlaBlaCar is a ride-sharing internet site that lets you share rides with vetted neighborhood drivers by using pitching in for gas. You truly request a seat, they approve, and off you go. Gumtree. This Craigslist-like website is an outstanding useful resource for travelers. You can locate journey partners, ride shares, jobs, 2D hand gear, homestays, and a whole lot more. Lyft. Get locals to select you and drop you off the place you want to go. It's about 30% more cost-effective than a taxi. Get Around. Need an automobile for a few hours? Rent anyone else's. Get Around permits you to lease people's unused automobiles by using the hour. 33. Be open to strangers. Not all people bite. Say hello to humans on the road. Turn strangers into friends. Remember, they are simply like you. They favor to stay a happy, full existence and have hopes and goals too. You in no way know. You simply may make some lifelong friends. 34. But hold your protect up. Some human beings do bite, so maintain a wholesome stage of suspicion. You don't desire to fall for any journey scams or get yourself into uncomfortable situations. Be open, however cautious. 35. Try new food. Don't ask what it is. Just put it in your mouth and see if you like it. If you put your shield up, you may pass out on some uncommon and scrumptious nearby cuisine. Here are some articles on how to devour scrumptious, and less expensive, meals around the world. 36. Avoid taxis. They are usually a price range buster. Never, ever take a taxi except you sincerely have to. 37. Take an empty steel water bottle through airport safety and fill it up at your gate. Drink from the faucet when you can, you'll retailer cash and assist the environment. If you're going someplace the place you can't drink the water, be certain to get a water bottle with a filter. I love Life Straw and Grail as my two favorite ones. 38. Take free on foot tours. Besides being free, these excursions will supply you your exact orientation and a heritage of the town you are visiting. I love taking on foot excursions when I travel. You ignore the time, you get to pepper the information with questions, and you get to study so tons about the place you are. Take her on foot or when you travel. Here are some lists of my favorite free strolling tour groups in the world. 39. Get town enchantment cards. If you're going to go to a lot of museums and different points of interest in a brief duration of time, a town emit is going to keep you cash on admission, plus most supply free public transportation too. 40. Take photographs of your baggage and clothes. If your bag receives lost, this will assist perceive it extra without difficulty and pays up to the technique of having your tour insurance plan reimburse you. 41. Carry emergency cash. Because emergencies happen, like that time in Romania when I couldn't discover an ATM and wanted cash for the bus to the hostel. I commonly strive to maintain around $200 USD in emergency money in case something happens. 42. Get suitable shoes. You stroll a lot when you travel. Don't beat up your feet. Love them as a great deal as they love you, and they'll take you to high-quality places. 43. Get vaccinated. Because falling prey to an sickness in or overseas USA is now not exciting, and many nations require you to get vaccinated in order to go to them, so, regardless of your opinion on the subject, you simply may have to. 44. Learn to haggle. Haggling is a fun, playful way of no longer getting charged the foreigner price. It's the artwork of negotiating and one that will assist you at some stage in all of life, now not simply at the market. 45. Use factors and miles for free travel. You can go a lot similarly in the world when you don't have to pay for it. Learn the artwork of journey hacking and acquire factors and miles through your daily spending so you can get free flights, accommodation, instruct tickets, and different varieties of travel. It's what all specialist vacationers do to decrease their journey charges, and something you ought to do too. Here's how I earn 1 million general flyer miles each year. 46. Take a jacket. Nights get chilly. 47. Eat road food. If you pass the road food, you emit out on culture. Don't be scared. If you're nervous, appear for locations the place youngsters are eating. If it's secure for them, it's protected for you. 48. Get tour insurance. Travel insurance plan is the most essential element you get that you by no means favor to use. If something goes wrong, you don't prefer to be out heaps of bucks in bills. It will be there if you get robbed, flights get cancelled, you get in poor health or injured, or have to be dispatched home. It's complete and, for simply a few bucks a day, one of the quality investments you can get for a trip. You may additionally assume you're Superman, woman. However, so did my pal who broke her arm, didn't have insurance, and had to pay lots out of pocket. Insurance used to be there when I had to exchange my digicam and when I popped an eardrum scuba diving. Get it? Here are some hints on how to discover the fine journey insurance. My preferred agencies are World Nomads. I purchase all my journey insurance plan from World Nomads. They have gorgeous patron service, aggressive prices, and in-depth coverage. I've been the usage of them given that I began touring in 2003. Insure My Trip, the satisfactory insurance plan for these over 70 years old. 49. Be patient. Things will work out in the end. No want to rush. You'll get to the place you are going in due time. Travel is about the journey, no longer the destination. 50. Be respectful. Locals are inclined to assist you out, however there's possibly a language barrier, so maintain your cool when something doesn't go your way. If you don't, you'll give up simply searching like an asshole tourist. 51. Don't over-format your trip. Let your days unfold naturally. Schedule 2 or 3 matters and let the day fill in the relaxation on its own. It's much less stressful, and letting the day simply take you is one of the fantastic approaches to travel. Here's my recommendation on how now not to overgraph your travels. 52. Relax. C. Be patient. 53. Be frugal, however now not cheap. Don't be penny-wise, however pound foolish. Look for offers and don't waste money, however don't pass out on splendid experiences or stroll 10 miles to store a couple of dollars. Time is money. Spend them each wisely. 54. Take earplugs. Snorers are in all places and you want your sleep. 55. Always have a more USB charger. Batteries die. Your exact temper shouldn't. 56. Take pics of and with people. Lots of photos. Years from now, you'll choose to appear returned on these nights you can't take into account and the humans who made them memorable. 57. Book your tickets online. If you're planning to do any things to do or excursions on your trip, e-book them online. Companies commonly provide a discounted rate when in contrast to shopping for in person. Not solely that, however, you'll be capable to pay with a savings card, giving you some more safety as nicely as extra journey points. 58. Sign up for flight deals. When it comes to travel, your flights will probably be your largest expense. Save cash through signing up for flight deal websites like Scott's Cheap Flights, The Flight Deal, and Secret Flying. You'll get epic flight offers straight to your inbox, saving you time and money. Also be positive to signal up for airline newsletters, on account that is the place they will announce their income first. 59. Pre-book your tickets to attractions. Many fundamental points of interest permit you to reserve your spot and bypass the line. Always seem online to see if this is an option. This will you to keep away from losing time in multi-hour traces and go proper in. I've considered humans wait hours for the Paris catacombs, Louvre, London Churchill war rooms, churches, temples, historical fortresses, and more. Pre-book the day before, pass the line, get to see greater for the duration of your day. 60. Avoid TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is exceptional when you want opening hours or an address, however when it comes to critiques I pass it completely. People constantly go away a bad evaluation when something awful takes place, however hardly ever go away a fine evaluate when something appropriate takes place, so the opinions have a tendency to be skewed. On pinnacle of that, it's very convenient to create pretend critiques and make a location appear higher than it is. Many resorts and eating places employ corporations to artificially inflate their critiques on the platform. Additionally, TripAdvisor has been regarded to take down evaluations that are overly terrible as nicely as evaluations on sexual assault. Use TripAdvisor with caution, or higher yet, don't use it at all. 61. Finally, put on sunscreen. For as the Baz-Luhrmann track everybody's free to wear sunscreen goes. If I should provide you solely one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term advantages of sunscreen have been proved with the aid of scientists, whereas the relaxation of my recommendation has no foundation greater reliable than my personal meandering experience. There you have it, my pinnacle tour tips. Follow them and you'll be the great tourist you can be in no time flat. Leave a remark beneath and add something you suppose I missed.